This week on Target Louisville, how many derbies can this man win in a 7-day stretch?
But Scat Daddy's done it again. He's won the Florida Derby.
Too many to count and too hard to keep track. Layoff handicappers circle this colt on your derby program. Saturday will race Saturday, but where and why? The cat named Cowtown is headed for Chi-Town, and the king who owns the king grows thirsty. How about a mint julep on the rocks?
Target Louisville
starts right now.
Tiago's coming at King of the Roxy, and Tiago's got up to win the Santa Anita Derby.
Big central on the rail. Any given Saturday, these two heads are paired too close to call.
Target Louisville is presented by Coolmore America.
From Santa Anita Park, Horse Racing Television proudly presents Target Louisville. This is the march towards the Kentucky Derby. Hello, everyone. I'm Lafitte Pinkai, and very quickly starting to separate the contenders from the pretenders, as we are just over 4 weeks out from Kentucky Derby 103 and in the midst of the final prep races in Millie Ball, while the Florida Derby is now in our rear view, and we know we can take Scat Daddy for real. As far as the preps unfold, we're going to know a lot more about this 3-year-old picture over the next couple of weeks.
I think we'll know a lot more about the wood, whether No Biz like Showbiz really moves up with the blinkers. That's got to be the key in that race. But as in regards to the Santa Anita Derby, that race looks wide open to me. Very competitive, but no standout in that race. And in regards to the Illinois Derby, I smell an upset in there.
Cobalt Blue, you're not a believer.
No, I'm not.
We'll find out. All that coming up this Saturday with more on the 3-year-old developments, the scenarios, who's going where for the preps. Let's check in with Scott Hazelton standing by with this Target Louisville News Update.
Lafitte, we're at the point in the 2007 Derby Trail where our contenders have one more race to earn the necessary graded stakes money and one more chance to prove themselves worthy. It seemed like we had all the paths to Churchill Downs mapped out, but not so fast. After his quote-unquote comeback win in the Grade 2 Lanes End Stakes, Hardspun's connections are unclear on where the son of Danzig will start next. There are 2 routes that Hardspun could take: train straight up to the Kentucky Derby on May 5th, or skip the Derby altogether and run at Keeneland in the Grade 2 Lexington Stakes on April 21st before jumping into the Preakness. Hardspun was scheduled to run in the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland on April 14th, but owner Rick Porter said they are 99% sure they're going to pass. That's not where the confusion ends. Todd Pletcher has decided not to run Circular Key in the Wood Memorial this Saturday. His win in the Louisiana Derby on March 10th tagged him as a major player on the Derby Trail. But Pletcher feels that the millionaire son of Thunder Gulch needs the 8 weeks off leading up to the first Saturday in May. With Circular Key out, Pletcher has decided to send Any Given Saturday to Aqueduct in his place, meaning no rematch with Street Sense in the Bluegrass. By running in the Wood Memorial, Any Given Saturday now has 4 weeks leading up to the Derby, as opposed to just 3 weeks he would have had if he were to run in the Bluegrass. So where does this leave the Bluegrass? It was supposed to be Street Sense versus Any Given Saturday, Part 2. But now, Doug O'Neill's Great Hunter gets a clear shot at the 2-year-old champ. And finally, this past week, 10 more horses were nominated to the Triple Crown races, each at a price of $6,000. This brings the total nominations to 460, an all-time record. The most notable name on this list has got to be Etude, winner of the Private Term Stakes at Laurel Park. While Derby dreams are probably not in the cards for any of these 10, there's always the Preakness and Belmont Stakes. Lafitte?
Barbaro may have started a strange trend, Millie Ball. What about all this time off now between their final prep and the Derby with horses like hard spun in the highly regarded Circular Key.
You know, I've only read what you've read in the Daily Racing Form in regards to Circular Key. I would start to question that because he's such an explosive late runner that he's only running the last fraction of his race in those races. The Louisiana Derby, he didn't have that tough of a race in there. So it's very interesting that Todd Pletcher has said from his training, it appears to me that this horse needs 8 weeks as opposed to having just the 4 weeks. So I don't know. The
Throw foundation out the window, apparently.
Yeah, the good thing is, though, for any given Saturday, it's brilliant for him because I think not to run against Street Sense for his last prep, perfect.
All right, so it was a big weekend for Todd Pletcher coming in. He was looking for his first win in the Florida Derby and, of course, his first win in the Kentucky Derby. And Scat Daddy was his fountain of youth for real. Find out after this mile and an 8th event. Scat Daddy, the 2-1 post-time favorite. Florida Derby, Larry Colmus takes us home.
Notional's being put to the whip. He's on the far outside, and they're coming to the top of the stretch in the Florida Derby, and Stormello and Scat Daddy are right together. Chiloki's in a tight spot on the rail, and Notional is now coming with his run in the final furlong. It is Scat Daddy in front. Notional to the outside. To the inside, Stormello's given way. Chiloki is closing late in the middle of the racetrack, but Scat Daddy's done it again. He's won the Florida Derby, and Edgar Prado just a tremendous day.
Finishing with authority and conviction, Scat Daddy, his ticket stamped for Louisville.
You know, we were just talking about race patterns for Circular Key. I love the race pattern that Todd Pletcher has given Scat Daddy and the timing. This will be his third race off the layoff, his third race in 2007. And the way his numbers are improving, I think we're going to see his best effort coming in the Kentucky Derby.
Chiloki may have been bamboozled as far as graded stakes earning are concerned. He ran real well. All that trouble, had to settle for third. Now we'll see if that $100,000 he earned is enough to get him to Kentucky. Then, of course, you have Notional, second place finisher in the Florida Derby. Is he good enough off of that effort to get his way to the Run for the Roses?
Notional came out of it in really good shape. He ran a huge second to Scat Daddy, and you know, we were real proud of his effort. And if all goes well, he's due to ship to Keeneland Wednesday and train right up to the Derby at Keeneland.
A little concerned, Millie, that we saw that in excess in the pedigree for Notional, that final 16th.
You know, that is the negative against him, yes. And it does say that, you know, he flattened out slightly in that race. The other positive about it is look at horses like Silver Charm and Real Quiet. They finished second in their Kentucky Derby prep and then went on to win the big dance.
Fitness, foundation, and finally pedigree. It's the magical combination for that horse trying to get his name on the Kentucky Derby trophy. Will it be the Santa Anita Derby winner? We'll find out on Saturday. There's the favorite, despite the fact he's only won one race. Liquidity, 5-2 on the morning line for Doug O'Neill. We'll be right back. You're watching Target Louisville.